Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we'll be doing this question on quadratics. It's a bit tricky because for part B you do have to do some like inferring as to what the question means. It might be a bit hard to spot if you haven't done questions like this before, so let's get through them. So for the first part, using algebra, this is just a cubic. The ways to solve a cubic is either use your calculator, or you can either factorize if possible. So over here we don't have a constant, we just have an x cubed, a x squared, and an x term. That means that one of the solutions we immediately know is going to be 0, because if each of them has an x and we sub in x equals 0, obviously all the terms will amount to 0. So if I write it out again, we can see that one of the terms is 0 by factoring out an x. So if we take out an x, we'll get 3x squared minus 17x minus 6. So there we go. So now we know x is equal to 0, because that's one way of making these two times together to make 0. Or our other solution would be 3x squared minus 17x minus 6 is equal to 0, which is just a quadratic, and we know how to solve these. This one is a bit tricky to solve. You could do completing the square, but the easiest way is by doing this just through recognition. So we always look at this part first, the 3x squared. We know that for the brackets we will have to have a 3x and an x. That's the only way to get 3. So 3x and x, 3 and 1. Now we need to mess around with the other parts. So we know we need a 6 or a negative 6, so maybe we could try negative 1 and 6. That would give us 3x squared plus 18x minus x minus 6. So that would mean we get this, which is positive 17x. We need negative 17x. So what we could do is we could try switching the signs so that we still get a negative 6, but we also need a 17 to be negative. So if you try this, 3x squared minus 18x plus x minus 6, we get 3x squared minus 17x minus 6. Okay, there we go. That works. And that's the same as our original, which is good. So now we have our solution of x equals 0, or we can write down our other solutions from this factorized version. We'd have 3x plus 1 equals 0, so 3x equals minus 1. So x equals minus a third. And then we also have the x minus 6 equals 0. So then the x would equal to 6. So then your three solutions would be x equals 0, x equals minus a third, and x equals 6. Yeah, okay. That is the first part of the question done. Now the second part, if we look, they've given us a, I don't even know what you call it, but we have to the power of 6. So it's not quadratic, it's not cubic, it's not a quartic. It's to the power of 6. So for this one, what we'd have to do is we'd have to see, can we use anything that we already have? So this is 3 lots of this bracket, minus 17 lots of this bracket, minus 6 lots of that bracket. If we look closely, our cubic that we just solved is actually the same. All they've done is they've replaced the x cubed, x squared, and x with y minus 2. And we can actually, this is actually a disguised quadratic is what it's called. So if I write this out again, we have 3 lots of y minus 2 to the 6, 17 y minus 2 to the 4, minus 6 y minus 2 squared. Now if I take out y minus 2 squared, so if I kind of factorize to make it back into a cubic, we would have that cubed to make the 6, then we would have the 17 y minus 2 squared, and then squared, so we have the 3 and the 2 like our cubic over here, and then 6 lots of y minus 2 squared, and then we just have to the power of 1 or nothing, because we already have a 2 here, and to get 2 from a 2, we just multiply by 1. So now we have this. So then if we compare equations, we can say that the x from our first equation is equal to the y minus 2 squared. Okay, now we have this. It's quite easy to solve because we know our x values. So we know y minus 2 squared is equal to 0, minus a third, or 6. So if we do 0 first, we get y minus 2 squared is 0. So then y minus 2 is 0, so y equals 2. It's one of our solutions. And then our other solution, we have to be careful here because we have y minus 2 squared is minus a third. But what do we square root? Y minus 2, if we square root it, we can't square root minus a third because that would give us an imaginary answer. Because you can't, there's no way to get a negative if you square a number. If you negative squared, you would get a positive. If you do positive squared, you get positive. So there's no way to get from negative back to positive. Well, there's just no way to get a negative if you square. So then this one we discard. We say no solution. And then we check our other one. We have y minus 2 squared equals 6. So then we have y minus 2 is equal to root 6. And be careful because we actually get two solutions here. Plus and minus root 6 because they both give 6. And then we add the 2. So we get y equals plus or minus root 6. And there we go. So our answers for y is 2 plus or minus root 6. And yeah, that's it for this question. So it is a bit tricky to see, especially the second part, where you even start. But if you can just compare like what you've already done, part B is normally always something to do with part A, and it even says hence, which means you probably have to use part A. But yeah, that was a tricky quadratic question. Thank you for watching. I would appreciate if you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.